Welcome back to the Sportsman Insider. Today, we released our annual updates across the Sportsman lineup, and this is a big one. As we kick off our 15th model year 2027 represents one of the largest product releases in our company's history. Coming off the launch of the Open 402, which introduced the next chapter of Sportsman 3.0, we are now bringing that same direction across more of the lineup. For model year 2027, we are introducing second generation versions of the Open 352, Open 322, Open 302, and Heritage 321. We also have two brand new models joining the family. The all-new Heritage 251 will be hitting the water in the next few weeks, and later this year, we will introduce the Masters 287, a hybrid model that will redefine the Masters series moving forward. It's an exciting time here at Sportsman. Our teams across sales, marketing, engineering, production have all been hard at work for the past year to bring this launch to life. We are incredibly proud of what this group has accomplished and even more excited about where Sportsman is headed. The future of Sportsman is only getting bigger and better. The product updates are a huge part of the story, but they are not the only things changing here at Sportsman. Over the past year, we have also made major investments across our facilities to support the next chapter of growth.
The first major facility update was the expansion of our lamination building. This 19,000 square foot addition creates a much needed larger and permanent space for our tooling and mold maintenance team. With the amount of new product coming through the lineup, this team needed room to work in a dedicated area close to lamination. This makes it much easier to maintain, update, and return molds back into production quickly and efficiently. This expansion also allowed us to bring true permanent gel coat booths with improved ventilation, better lighting, and a more efficient workflow for the team. From there, we move to the back of the property, where we have just completed construction on what we are calling Building 5. This 21,000 square foot addition to our manufacturing facility will be the home to hardtop production and will give the team the space they need to continue supporting our growing lineup. And as Sportsman continues to grow, we are always looking towards what comes next. Because of that, we have also started site work for future expansions that will help support the next chapter of our company.
Now, let's take a look at what you are probably the most interested in, the new product. The Open 352, Open 322, Open 302, and Heritage 321 all follow the same Sportsman 3.0 design language introduced on the Open 402. Each model maintains its original running surface with the major updates happening above deck.
The biggest changes start at the console. The new windshield design increases visibility by 35% and gives the glass a seamless, sleek look that completely changes the profile of the boat. Next is the hardtop. The larger hardtop design provides more coverage all around and extends further aft into the cockpit. On the Open 352, this adds 18 inches of shade. On the 322 and 321, it adds 16 inches, and on the 302, it adds 10 inches. Each of these redesigned models also receive a major upgrade below deck and throughout the interior spaces. We placed extra care and attention into the finishing touches, materials, and the way that these areas function during real time on the water.
These updates are not just about making the boats look better. They're about making them easier to use in the way that our customers actually use them, based on real feedback and real experience. And that is an important point with this new Sportsman 3.0 design language. Today, we are covering the major highlights, but there are hundreds of smaller changes throughout these models that deserve a closer look. We are also publishing detailed video walkthroughs for each of these models that go much deeper into the design, the features, and finishing details. As those videos become available, you will be able to take a closer look at each boat and see just how much has changed beyond the major items that we are covering here.
Additional updates include paddle latch style lids on all the boxes, completely redesigned side leather upholsteries with updated shaping, hard bottom cushions, magnetic attachments, and refreshed styling. We also added chamfer edges to the bow table for easier entry and exit, along with the standard dual Garmin 1643s on the 322, 302, and 321. When it comes to the Heritage 251, this is a model we are very excited about, and we know our customers will be too. It fits perfectly between our best-selling Heritage 231 and our extremely popular Heritage 261. For customers looking for a boat that is bigger than the 23, but easier to tow than a 26, while still featuring twin engines and a fully finished console interior, this is the boat for them.
Lastly, we have the Masters 287.
This new hybrid bay boat brings together the features customers love about the Masters series with a very capable hybrid hull design. It is built for shallow water fishing, but with the performance, fuel capacity, and dead rise needed to handle longer offshore runs and rougher water conditions. This is a style of boat that continues to gain traction in the market for customers who want to do it all, from fishing shallow mangroves to offshore trolling trips. Spending the day at the sandbar or snorkeling on a reef, the Masters 287 is built to cover a lot of water and a lot of different lifestyles. With the Sportsman hull design behind it, we believe this boat changes what a hybrid is capable of.
Now that we've talked about what has been announced, let's take a look behind the scenes and how these new models come to life.
The Heritage 251 will use the same running surface as the Open 252. The primary difference between these two boats will be the deck, which gives the Heritage 251 its own layout, personality, and purpose within the lineup. The team has been hard at work, taking the plug from the mill and turning it into a production mold. If you remember from our Behind the Glass series, the plug is a composite copy of the final part. It is cut using our 5-axis mill and then sanded to a smooth surface that can be used to build a mold. The mold is nearing completion now, with the team working through the final sanding and waxing process before the first production part is pulled. From there, the Heritage 251 will move into final assembly and prepare to hit the water for the first time.
Next, let's focus on the Masters 287, which is scheduled to be completed later this year and make its debut at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. This model represents the reimagining of the Masters series for Sportsman going forward, bringing the Sportsman 3.0 design language into a very capable hybrid bay boat platform.
The Masters 287 is still in the early stages of the build process. Right now, the stringer and hull plugs are both nearing completion and will soon be ready to begin the mold building phase. But before we get there, let's take a step back and look at how we build a plug. The first step is building the buck, which is the wooden structure that supports the composite foam materials. Once the buck is complete, the rough shape of the part is built from foam blocks. That foam is then placed into our 5-axis mill, where it is cut down to a slightly smaller version of the final part. From there, a layer of primer is sprayed onto the foam, and that primer acts as a bonding agent so fiberglass can be applied. We use a thin fiberglass layer over the foam to help protect it from the heat when the final layer of putty is applied. That putty creates a strong, solid surface that can be sanded and finished. It also gives us the surface we need to build and pull a mold from the plug. Think of it like modeling clay. Once the putty cures, the part goes back into the mill where it's cut down to its final size. And at this point, it becomes an exact replica of the final part. When the milling process is complete, it heads to our mold team. From there, they go through extensive sanding and finishing, so the plug has a perfectly smooth surface and is ready for the green gel coat that you see in all of our molds.
And this is something worth pointing out. Everything that you are seeing here is happening inside our own campus. The design work, milling, plug building, mold finishing, and even production support are all being handled by our own team with our own equipment and under our own roof. These are not processes that we are handing off somewhere else. This is the level of commitment we have made to quality, control, and innovation. And it is something that truly sets Sportsman apart in the boating industry.
Currently, the Masters 287 is still in the plug building process. The hull and stringer are close to entering the mold building phase, while the deck is having its final passes run inside the mill.
There is also one small detail from our facility expansion that is worth revisiting here. Our team in the mill has been very busy, and as you can imagine, so has the mill itself. So as part of our expansion, we opened up a new area that features 2 additional machines.
The first is a secondary 5-axis mill. This machine is designed to build smaller parts like boxes, lids, and even the Masters 287 hardtop. The second machine is an aluminum cutting CNC machine, which will cut parts for our metal team moving forward as they build hardtop frames and other aluminum components. Right now, we see the new CNC machine is milling the Masters 287 second station hardtop. This will be the top you see on the prototype boat making its debut at Fort Lauderdale. Unlike the larger parts, these smaller parts are one solid layer of specialty tooling composite material. The part is cut in the mill, sanded, finished, and then used to build a mold. There are not several layers involved because these parts are smaller and much easier to move around. Adding this machine gives us the ability to cut small parts and larger parts at the same time, depending on the needs of our production schedule. The smaller 5-axis mill also cuts roughly 300 times faster than the larger mill when producing these smaller parts, which makes the plug building process much faster and much more efficient.
There are 2 more major parts in the Masters 287 design that we wanted to show you progress on.
The first is the new console design. The Masters 287 bay boat will feature a full chase lounge seat with not 1 storage box but 2. The forward box will be an insulated cooler, while the larger rear box will offer a massive storage area for larger gear. That larger box will also feature a lid that opens to the starboard side rather than aft, making it easier to access while on the boat. The second part is the new leaning post design. This brand new leaning post will feature swiveling captain's chairs, similar to what you see in our current Heritage 261. But for the Masters 287, this leaning post gets something new. It will feature a 25-gallon aquarium live well with toe kicks around the rear, giving anglers better access and a more functional setup in the cockpit.
The Open 302 will be one of the first boats to hit the water for model year 2027. While it was nearing completion, we did get to capture several parts of the build process as the team was rigging the console and finalizing the hardtop frame structure.
The console takes a lot of the inspiration from its larger brother, the Open 402. The 2 biggest changes are the new windshield glass and frame design, which delivers 35% more visibility, along with a new lockable fiberglass entry door to the console. That fiberglass door provides better security and gives the console a cleaner, more finished look. Rigging the console is one part of the process, but before the console can go into the boat, the final frame structure has to be built and tested for fit. Our engineering team built the jig, which allowed the team to assemble the frame design with precision. The jig is made up of a full fiberglass console, leaning post, and hardtop. The structure holds each part in the exact position it needs to be in, then works as a template for tack welding the D-tubing frame together. This process allows us to replicate the same part accurately every single time. Once a fiberglass console is built, the frame structure can sit down on the console exactly the way it was designed to. This is an essential step in keeping production moving smoothly and making sure every part fits the way that it should.
It is also another example of what makes this process so important. We prototype, design, test, and build these components in-house. The fiberglass parts, metalwork, and final assembly all come together under one roof, giving our team the level of control needed to keep pushing quality, consistency, and innovation forward. If you want to learn more about jigs, how they're built and used, you can check out our Behind the Glass Season 1, Episode 8. That's it for this week's episode of the Sportsman Insider. There is a lot happening across the Sportsman facility right now, and there's even more to come as our product development team continues designing the next generation of Sportsman boats. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and as a reminder, the Open 302 walkthrough will be releasing very soon. So make sure to subscribe and follow along for more upcoming episodes of the Sportsman Insider as we continue to give you a first look at what we are working on. Thanks for watching.